Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Devecioglu, your host, and welcoming you episode 137. We are in season 5 in the American Business Podcast. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. Quote of the day. As you know, we have a great partnership with missionstatements.com, and here is the quote of the day. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. Today's number, $562 billion. U.S. commercial real estate investment activity is forecasted to be $562 billion in 2026. Okay, well, we have a special guest today in the American Business Podcast. I'm going to invite our guest to our virtual stage, and I'm going to get the conversation started. Hello, Arthur. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you very much. How are you? How is your week going so far?
I'm good. Everything's going well so far. I'm just waiting for the cold to drop today. It's a very chilly day, and it's only going to get more and more cold. So
yes,
I'm waiting on that.
I think we need to hang in there for February too. Yeah. Until it warms up, hopefully in March. So let's see how it's going to go.
You know, the groundhog saw his shadow, and we have 6 more weeks of snow.
All right, counting down.
Exactly.
Well, this is really good. Arthur, I've been actually waiting for this conversation with you. I'm very excited. And just for our audience to know, so I met you at the HALI, Hapak Industrial Association, and we had a great conversation about branding and positioning organizations in a competitive marketplace. So I've been looking forward to diving into the conversation with you. As a start, yes, go ahead.
This invitation, this opportunity to speak with you here. It's very exciting. I love your podcast. I really think.
All right, let's continue. Yes, you were saying?
So I really enjoy the podcast. You've had some terrific folks on, so I really appreciate the opportunity to chat here today.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine, and let's get started. As a start, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our listeners and to our viewers?
I'm Arthur Germain. I'm the principal and chief brand teller at Brand Telling. It's a brand storytelling agency. We're based on Long Island, and we establish, strengthen, and promote brands for B2B professional services companies. And what that means is we help to install a story operating system for them so that they can showcase what is different about them, unique about them, and why their customers work with them. And we help them to become the go-to businesses in their industry that way.
Yes, I had actually in-person conversation with you as well at HALI, and I love the way that you are actually analyzing companies, very practical, to the point, and that's very important that actually you shared your company and what you do.
I appreciate that. You know, we use this model. Simon Sinek wrote a great book called Start With Why, and I really enjoy that model. If you speak with somebody, you ask them what they do, they tell you that kind of general thing. What do you do? I'm in marketing. Or if you go a little bit narrower, you can say, how do they do that? And Simon does this in these concentric circles. So how do they do that? And they might have some kind of secret sauce. But if you can get them to talk about the why, that's really the difference. And I think he's missing one more circle that I like to add with my clients, which is a who. Because all of this doesn't matter if you don't know who you're talking to. You'll see that over and over again. You see people are on go to a website and it's written kind of in the third person, and you're like, there's only one person on the other side of that screen. Who do you think it is? And you know, so I love getting together with clients to try and help them dig into those different concentric circles and then figure out the best way to express what I call their story leadership.
Can you tell us about your career journey a little bit? How did you get started? How your career journey has unfolded over the years?
Yeah, I spent a dozen years as a technology and business editor. I started at a fantastic publishing company called CMP Publications, and I bounced around there. I also worked at Scholastic, And later I worked in technology public relations, and then I worked at a manufacturing company where I was the head of global communications. And when I started my firm in 2005, one of the things I realized is that we do today um, what I did when I was a journalist. We sit around a table and we say, why is this story important to the readers? Or why is this brand message important to the audience? And what makes it important? What makes it relevant? And why now? Is it something they need right now? Is it something that is relevant to them? I think a lot of brand messages that you see, um, they're kind of scattershot. They forget who they're talking to. They forget what they're talking about. And I'd like to be targeted. I want, when I'm talking to somebody or I'm working with a client, I want them to know clearly who the message is for. And so I learned that working at the publishing company. So I've taken that with me, 30, 40 years later. I've taken that to what I'm doing today.
What is the secret of your success?
Um, my wife might argue about this, but I'm a good listener, and I try to listen between the lines. That's what I like to say. Um, what I find is, and it's a skill again I learned uh, in publishing, that when you're interviewing somebody and they may they may wander, if you can kind of recap. So I hear what you're saying is X, Y, and Z. Um, a good example, I spoke with somebody earlier this week who runs a company where he builds what he calls the sprints for different parts of the company lifecycle. So if you are in startup mode, he has a startup sprint. If you're in growth where you're hiring people, he has that sprint. And he talked about how what he did was he works people through those different stages in the company. And I listened to him describe it. I said, "Oh, so you're a stage coach?" And he stopped and he's like, "What?" And I said, "You're coaching people through those important stages." He's like, "Oh, I love that. I'm using it." And so he started posting about it, on LinkedIn right after that. But that's what I heard him say. I heard him say he's a coach who works people through stages. I said, "Oh, that's a stage coach."
Mm.
And it's that kind of funny and memorable thing that will stick with people. When he says that, when he says to people, "I'm a stage coach," people are going to stop and go, "Okay, I have to know what that means." And they're going to understand that. So that's the kind of thing that I listen for.
What is your vision for your company's future?
I I would like to work with those companies that I see as being in a growth mode. The companies that have established themselves and really want to go to what they think of as the next level. I want to make sure they can maintain their brand and their brand promise as they go to those levels. A lot of times I see that's where companies struggle. They want to go to the next level and their brand starts to kind of fall apart or it becomes a little weak. I want to help them install what I call a story operating system into that brand so that they can take it to the next level. So what I see for myself is, really getting out and promoting that idea of a story operating system and really seeing people adopt that.
What are the biggest challenges that you are seeing for your organization nowadays?
Yeah, and I think this is a big challenge, and you may talk to me about it later. But I see that the use of AI and what I see as the incorrect use of AI is the biggest challenge. I think there's a mistake that people make that on either one of two sides. Either people are all in, I don't need to have a marketing team, I don't need anybody to write, I can use AI for that. Or they're all out. They're like, they hate it, they don't want to have anything to do with it. And I think there's a middle ground. For me, that middle ground is that AI is a tool,
Mhm.
but it still requires a really good operator. The thing that I think about is, an arc welding tool is a fantastic tool, but nobody on there in their right mind would just hand me the arc welder and say, "Here, go make some welding joints," right? You have to have somebody who knows how to use it. There's a union person who knows how to use the arc welder, has been trained and has used it. That's the way to approach the AI. You don't have to be, a union arc welder or a brain surgery to use it, but you have to understand a little bit more and not just try it casually and hope that it's going to achieve what you want.
What is the state of your industry that you can
Yeah,
share with us?
yeah. I think the state of the branding industry is that there's become more of an understanding that branding has this important and foundational role in marketing, which is that if you can establish your your brand story, if you can do that fundamental, here is who we are, here is who we work with, here's the way that they get value from us, that means that all of your other marketing activities are spot on. All of your marketing activities begin to really click and make sense. If you're going to do a podcast, if you're going to, have a Super Bowl advertisement like they're going to do this Sunday, you know, that makes sense if people can understand the brand. Watch on Sunday, watch those Super Bowl ads. The brands that the ad makes absolutely no sense, they've departed from the brand. The ones that completely make sense and you go, I knew they would do that, I knew, because I understood the brand promise, that's what I expected, those are the ones that had a good brand foundation. So that's what I see in my industry, is the a deeper understanding that the brand and the brand foundation is really a necessary part, moving forward.
Well, you talk about a little bit, but if you like to dive deeper, we'd love to listen to you. How do you see the impact of AI on business nowadays?
Yeah, so I'm seeing, all over, right? I'm sure you are as well. Certainly, we see it in programming. Um, it's making programming easier. You hear a lot of people talk about coding, so that even general coders like myself, I can use it to kind of vibe code something that I need. But it's still not the professional level of coding. The people that you work with, Kevin, are professional software engineers who understand. For them, it's an interesting tool to use. It can maybe check them for simple things that they might miss, like a typo in a code can really kill you, and the AI. I think that we see it there. We also see it in all levels of business. A lot of self-service has moved to using AI. I'm building a tool right now that I'm going to release that lets people take a diagnostic to see, what is your story operating system in your business look like? Are you hitting on all the different points? And it will grade you and come back and tell you how you're doing and recommend a next step. So, but it still needs to be guided. My belief is it still needs to be guided by somebody who has some intent and some purpose. Otherwise, it's just a fun tool to scroll through. But if for those industries that really can see that it can make it easier to engage with their audiences, can smooth the process, can get rid of some of the rough areas that they might be having in a customer engagement. Those are great. Getting smoothing out and having traction, but getting rid of friction. That's how I'd say that's where AI really plays well.
Yeah, this is really exciting conversation. I mean, when it comes to AI, uh, we can talk about it for hours, and it really is a great conversation, very very relevant nowadays.
Yeah, I think I'm always fascinated by the kind of what comes next. Um, I'm not so necessarily, worried by it. Um, I'm just concerned about how people react to it.
Mhm.
Those people who say, "Oh, good, the tool can write me an article, so I'm going to just ask it to write me an article," but it doesn't know anything about you. It doesn't know anything about your business. Um, it doesn't know the nuances that you know. I'm number 137 in the collection of people that you've interviewed. The AI can tear through and read those interviews, but it doesn't know um, what question or what response that you heard from guest number 15 that has stuck with you all this time, right? It
Mhm.
doesn't have that deep understanding. Only you do. You can guide it. And that's where it gets better. When you guide it, when you say, go look at episode 15, that one sticks with me all the time. Help me come up with better questions based on what we said there. That's where it's a really useful tool, I think.
How do you define leadership, and what are the great leadership qualities a good leader must have?
So that's a fantastic question, Kevin. Thank you. I I like the definition of leadership that people talk about, like kind of leading from behind. And for me, that means um, looking at and understanding the strengths and the weaknesses of the team that you're leading, and really helping them to lean into their strengths, helping them to overcome what are the weaknesses. What I've seen, you know, in leaders over the years is that some will just insist, here's the role I've put you in, or here's the task I want you to do, just go do that thing, and it might not be a good fit. I've always enjoyed being in a role, or working with a team to say, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? And can we put you in that role? So if we have a good, smart person who can achieve a lot of things, let's put them in the right role. And I had the I had the great luck to work early on at a fantastic company I mentioned before. The publishing company is founded by the Leeds family, and they were terrific at that, especially Michael Leeds, who became president. His parents had founded it. I thought Mike was a terrific leader. One quick example, I was doing a trade show where we put out the daily newspaper at the trade show. We were in Switzerland putting it out. We'd been there for a few days, and we'd run into troubles and tribulations trying to get it out, language problems, all kinds of things. Mike arrived at the airport across the street, came in still with his suitcase behind him as he walked in, and he stopped at everybody there, and he knew something that had gone on. Hey, I heard you had trouble, and you and somebody had to find a common language because you both spoke 4 languages. You had to find the common one so you could interview them. He got to me and said, I heard the systems weren't working when you first got here, but you rebuilt the system so that we could get the daily out. And he just knew something. And you could see the whole newsroom just perked up. Everybody's like, wow, that was just so great. Did he have to do that? No, he was going to go out and sell, but he knew how to lead from behind by acknowledging the people who had been there, putting that out. So I've always thought about that. And I always try to measure my own leadership to say, am I doing those things with the people that I lead, the people that I have the opportunity to work with?
Role models. Have you had any role models, any mentors who help you shape your career journey over the years?
That's a great question. I have, certainly have had people over the years that I've admired. As I mentioned, the people at the publishing company, editors who I've worked with, that I've admired. One editor who I worked with, who later came to work for me, and he's been a collaborator of mine. Give a shout out to Mark Kinley, who I've always admired just how calm and centered he is. And I will not claim to be anywhere near as calm or centered as Mark, but he has always been somebody who I've just admired. And you mentioned HIA. I really admire Terry Leslie Maselli and the work that she's done at HIA, especially because it's a growing organization that it's changed over the years. It used to be industrial. Now it's much more services business, like you and I. And Terry has managed to, kind of tame that roller coaster, if you will, and, produce programming for the HIA members that everyone has, come to enjoy. And so I really admire people who can remove their ego, or remove this is how we've always done it kind of from what they do, and understand, okay, we're gonna have to do things a little bit different. That opportunity to pivot, maybe.
Yes, I had the pleasure of having Terry also in the American Business Podcast as a guest. We had a great conversation, and I definitely agree with you. She's someone that also I look at as a great example of leadership.
Yeah.
And also pivot when there is a need to adapt organization to any change. I've seen her leadership, especially during COVID. That was exemplary leadership. Yeah. that I just witnessed with my own eyes. That was amazing.
That group was known for holding one of the largest trade shows in the nation. What do you do when you can't get everyone together? And the things that she did to adapt, to bring people together virtually, right?
Absolutely. That's definitely a great example as a great leader. Okay, well, key career lesson. If there is one key career lesson that you learned the hard way, what would it be that you can share with us?
Yeah, I think it's that you need to focus, and I use the term, and sometimes, stay in your lane. Um, Especially in marketing, there's a lot of marketing groups that if you have a conversation, it's like, I do video, and I do social media, and I write, and I do branding, and I can do website, and it ends up being this ongoing. There's a lot of things, and I try to say, okay, I focus. I'm a writer, and I'm really good at developing brand strategy, and then the writing that goes with that. I don't build websites. I'll work with a collaborator who builds a website, and I'll write content for the website. I don't do the video, even though I have a degree in video production. I'll work with a great video operator, and I'm the guy off camera asking questions like you are now, where I can say, let me direct that. Let me see if I can get that person to, get back on topic. That is for me, where I've learned to focus. And I admit, I often lose focus. My wife or some of my collaboration partners will tell me, stop going down that rabbit hole. Hey, I know you find that AI interesting. Leave it alone now. Go do something else. But I'm always constantly learning something new, and but I do try to bring back that focus.
Well, you just mentioned about marketing. Based on your professional experience over the decades and your observation, what are the best marketing practices nowadays for the highest ROI?
Yeah, I think again, it starts with understanding that brand foundation, and having that solid brand foundation. What I like to talk about, and I mentioned earlier, is I call it the story operating system, but having just recording the information. Some marketers will call it having a marketing matrix. There's lots of terms for it, but understanding for each person that you're trying to reach, each of the audiences. Let's say you have you want the CFO, you want the CEO, you want the CTO, that you have a clear, unambiguous message for each of them, and that you can support that message, and then that you can have activities to deliver that message, knowing that maybe the CEO is very busy. He'll watch a video, but he's not going to read a white paper. The CFO really just wants to know what's the numbers on, if they incorporate your tool technology service, what kind of ROI can they expect. And the CTO, the guy who's going to have to actually implement it, he wants the technical details. I see too often, especially with technology companies, they whack everybody with the same brand bat. Here's our technology, and here's the information about it. And they tell the CEO, the CFO, and the CTO, and there's only one person in that trio who really cares about that technology. It's the CTO. The CEO doesn't have to implement it. So the best practice that I see is getting that foundation, breaking out individual stories for those different groups, and then using the right activities, marketing activities, whatever that is, to target them. When you do that, you have a much clearer ROI in your branding, in your marketing, I should say, that you have, you can measure, right down to who did we reach, how did that result in a follow-up, what was the follow-on activity, and you can build these kind of what the folks at Sandler Training call a clear next step. You can build right into that.
What is the best business career advice that you ever received, and what is the worst business slash career advice you ever received?
Yeah, that's a hard one. Early on, when I started my own business, somebody who had been in business for a while as a consultant, I said to him, "You have any advice?" And he said, "Yeah, the people you think are going to be your biggest help will not." He said, "The people that you don't or you didn't think will be your biggest help will be." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" And he said, "Well, you'll see." And I think what he meant by that was, um, the people who were already in business and had been in business, they had no experience being a solo practitioner. They had no experience, being out and having their own business. So talking to them about, hey, what do you recommend, wasn't as helpful as talking to the vendors that they worked with and the other consultants who I didn't really know at that time. So I started to kind of network and build a business. That's why we mentioned like HIA. I found, belonging to HIA very helpful because I could meet other like-minded people, people, inside and outside, like Adam Holzer, who, is a friend and mentor, who is a connector, but somebody who I could talk to, who, if he doesn't have the answer, he'll know somebody who does. That's, I think, was good. On the worst part, I think it was the person who told me I really needed to go find an office and, have a really big fancy office. So that's just a lot of money, kind of stroking my ego, but it does, it doesn't help me in the bottom line. Having a big fancy office didn't help, especially during the pandemic. It was,
Yes.
it was better off, and I found clients wanted me to come to their office anyway. So that wasn't the best advice.
What is your career advice for the next generation professionals?
Yeah, I think you said it earlier, that idea of pivoting, that idea of being flexible for what comes next. I, when I came out of college, I had a degree in what was then called television and radio production and speech communication. And, I went into publishing, which was, a bit of a flex, but it was still a communications type of role. And I think that flexibility, gave me a lot more later on. So that's what I think is just being flexible and, looking for those opportunities when they come up. There's always going to be something, and it usually starts off with, could you give me a hand with something, or could you help me with something? And I was saying, jump in there and say yes, because that's going to be where you learn something new, that somebody needed a hand and you're like, okay, let me jump in, let me learn something new, let me give you a hand. That's where I found the most growth for myself. And I say the same thing to to the next wave of graduates and the next wave of business. The person who asks for help, jump in there, say yes.
In this episode, is there any question that you had expected me to ask you, but I didn't ask you?
Well, I guess thing that lots of people ask me is I have a weird company name, Brand Telling.
Brand telling.
I tell
Okay.
myself,
Yeah, let's talk about the origins of brand telling. Yes, please tell us about it.
So, when I first started my firm, it was called Communication Strategy Group, and it was that for many years. But early on, we were a technology PR firm. That's how I started that business, and I had an opportunity to see Seth Godin, the marketing, like marketing extraordinaire guru, and he was doing a book signing. So I heard him speak. I came down to have him sign the book, and he said, "So what do you do, Arthur?" And I said, "I run a technology PR firm." And he said, "Oh, how's that different?" And it really caught me off guard. And I stood there in front of this guy who's like a hero, and I'm like, how's that different? I don't know. And, he looked over at his assistant, who kind of takes me by the arm to guide me out of the way. And he hands me his card. He goes, "Well, you let me know when you find out." It was kind of an embarrassing moment, but I thought what made it different was that I wanted to use the tools, and I was using the tools that I had learned as a journalist, this idea of sitting around the table and talking about what makes this a good story. Why is this a good story? So that idea of storytelling, but storytelling for brands. So I came up with a, brand and storytelling, crash them together, brand telling, because, marketers, we like to make up words. So, but it's really turned out to be the right direction. Now almost 20 years later from when I came up with the term, you see people talk about brand storytelling all the time, like they made it up. And if I was smarter, I would have licensed it a long time ago. But the idea of brand telling, of that brand storytelling, really is that core of everybody has a story. You have a story, Kevin. Your business has a story. This podcast has a story. And that story might be the 137 people you've interviewed are part of that story. And the way
Yes.
that you, as kind of the conductor, weave those stories together, that's what I mean by brand telling and the brand storytelling.
That's a very interesting story that you share with us. Thank you very much. Okay, well, we have a little tradition in the
Okay.
American Business Podcast. I have a question for you coming from our previous guest. And after we get that answer from you, I'll ask you to leave a question here with me. And I'll ask your question to our coming guest. And the question coming from our previous guest is, what is the most important strategic decision you need to make in 2026?
I think it goes back to what I was saying before about focus, and it's, what will I focus on in 2026? Is it the kind of traditional writing and building thought leadership and story leadership? Is it the brand management subscriptions that I offer and the way that I can help install a story operating system? And that's actually what I'm kind of thinking about right now. It's top of mind for me. So I think that's going to be the my big strategic decision will be, where do I put my focus this year?
And what question you would like to leave with me today for our next guest?
That last question was a great one. I think a lot about partnering and partnerships, and I guess my question for your next guest is, how do you determine who makes a really great partner for you?
Okay.
We really rely so much on partners. We need them. I have a great partner that I work with on graphics and brand graphics, Asaf Bachman, the chef, and it's good because sometimes I think we share a brain. We're so focused on achieving the same thing. It's really good to have a partner who shares your values and really wants to accomplish the same things you want, that has the same goals for your clients. But I'd love to hear from your next guest. How do they go about selecting and working with that partner?
Okay, we'll make sure to ask in the episode 138. I appreciate it.
138.
All right, sounds good. Well, in this episode, is there any question that you would like to ask me?
Well, I've seen your podcast. Who is the guest that is the big get for you that you would love to have as a guest that you haven't been able to? Maybe you're not connected with. And my challenge is to everybody who watches this: connect this person with Kevin. Whoever Kevin wants to talk to, get that person on here. Kevin does a great job with this podcast.
Thank you for the support. Well, I'm a fan of Robert Greene. The 48 Laws of Power. And other books that he actually written. So I love to have him on the American Business Podcast because he has a lot of insights in business, because he also does consulting and he works with business community in general. So that will be a great episode with him.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So everybody out there, Robert Greene, get them on here. Number 140s in the 140s.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that'd be great. Appreciate it. Well, for those who like to continue this conversation with you and like to know more about your company and get in touch with you, what is the best way that they can learn about your company and in touch with you?
The company is Brand Telling, and you can find us at brandtelling.com. And then you can always email me at arthur@brandtelling.com, and find me on LinkedIn. And I made that easy. arthurgermain.com sends you over to my LinkedIn profile.
This is great. Well, Arthur, thank you so much for being with us in your busy schedule. I really enjoyed the conversation, as I always do. It's always a pleasure with you, and you share your professional insights, professional wisdom with us. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. We have to grab coffee sometime, but thank you so much.
Let's do that. Appreciate it. And I wish you a great weekend.
Yes, you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Well, to our audience and to our listeners, we'll be right back after a short break. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit, Reddit for Business. Reddit has more than 400 million weekly visitors. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable. Reddit is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on. When you spend $500, you'll get $500 in ad credit from Reddit. True story. I am a Reddit user. Anytime I need feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit. I get the real answers, real feedback from real people, from Reddit communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising for your business. Get the visibility for your company, your products and services. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Baker. It is time to digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere Apps designed for small and mid-sized companies as well as enterprise-level companies to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I'd like to talk about one of the Anywhere apps that's very popular in the US. It is called Nonprofit Management Anywhere. If you are a nonprofit and you like to manage your donations, volunteers, fundraising events, your grants, and other documents for compliance and operational purposes, consider Nonprofit Management Anywhere. It is a completely cloud service. You can start using it today with no need for local installation on your server or on your local laptop and computers. It is user-friendly and it's easy to deploy, and you can start using it today. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about Anywhere apps, including Nonprofit Management Anywhere. Well, there is more. If you'd like to talk to me directly about Anywhere apps, you can just send me an email directly, kevin@kirkconsulting.com. Anywhere apps are modern, they are easy to use, they are affordable, practical, and more importantly, that's designed for you to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Scan the QR code or just send me a direct email, kevin@kirkconsulting.com. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Brother. From large companies to small offices, Brother has powerful printers and all-in-ones for your growing business. Scan the QR code and find the best printers for your needs. When you scan the QR code, you can see the entire collection, business office equipment collection of Brother USA, and pick the one that you like. You'll find printers, labels, toners, all-in-ones, and other office equipment available on Brother website when you scan the QR code. Scan the QR code and start shopping for Brother office equipment today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Gemini, Gemini Trust. Gemini makes crypto simple. Find, trade, and buy over 70 different coins, including Bitcoin and Solana, on the best cryptocurrency platform. Gemini Trust. Start trading crypto here. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and start signing up today. Because they have a great customer service, you can reach out to them and get assistance 24/7. Scan the QR code and start trading crypto on Gemini. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Anywhere apps are designed to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere apps are family of business software products. There are more than 40 products available for business process digitization and automation. Anywhere's apps are easy to use, they are standalone, and they are also ready to integrate with your ERP and accounting software systems. Today, I'd like to promote APS Anywhere, which is part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. APS Anywhere, designed for manufacturing companies. Whether you are a process manufacturing company, food and beverage, chemical, and more, or a discrete manufacturing company, automotive, aerospace, electronics, and more. APS stands for Advanced Planning and Scheduling. APS Anywhere is ready to streamline, digitize, and automate your production planning process. As you know, in manufacturing, production planning is not easy. There are always some bottlenecks and challenges. You need to put together your resources, 3M, man, machine, and material. APS Anywhere designed to streamline this process and automate it for you. It is a modern system. It runs on cloud. It also has deployment options for installation on your server or your private cloud environment. The system is scalable. It comes with unlimited number of production planning scenarios, meaning before you execute, you can see the financial implications and timing of your production planning on APS Anywhere. APS Anywhere comes with a very colorful and easy-to-use Gantt chart so that you can see your production planning on a colorful and easy-to-operate Gantt chart before you finalize your production planning purposes. The system is also integratable. It is ready to integrate your ERP system, MRP system, and other systems whenever there is a need. It is designed for manufacturing companies by manufacturing experts. It also comes with ready-made reports if you like to utilize. Furthermore, on APS Anywhere, we can also use demand forecasting function, meaning based on your past manufacturing and sales figures, the system can predict what will be your demand in the future. This will help you manage your supply chain in a more productive manner. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about APS Anywhere as well as Anywhere App software system in general. There is more. I have a direct line for you. You can send me a direct email, kevin@kerconsulting.com. kevin@kerconsulting.com, and I'll be happy to hear from you about Anywhere apps, APS Anywhere, or any Anywhere apps that is offered by Anywhere apps by Kerr Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Thank you for your support. Support for the show comes from DocuSign. DocuSign is the latest, modern, cloud-based digital electronic signature software system. You can sign your vendor contracts, customer contracts, NDAs, and any type of contracts digitally with no need of local installation or no need of keeping your documents on your laptop or your mobile device. Furthermore, DocuSign is equipped with intelligent agreement management that helps you digitize and automate your repeating contracts, whether that's a supplier contract, customer contract, NDA, and legal documents. I have the QR code on the screen to sign up for DocuSign subscription right now. It comes with a free trial with no obligation. You can digitize and automate your contract management and document management processes starting today. True story. I also use DocuSign regularly and it works very smooth. Highly recommended. You see the QR code on the screen. Scan the QR code. It'll take you to their website. Sign up today, start the free trial, and join the team, and enjoy the DocuSign features and benefits. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Invicta. Invicta is known for its stylish watches, both for men and women. Invicta is offering unisex watches as well. I have a confession. I am an Invicta fan and I've been using Invicta watches for many years. This one is 57mm Invicta watch, automatic. Because it's black color, it goes well with my business outfit. And because it's automatic, I don't need batteries for my watch. It gets the energy by me just moving the watch from my wrist. So it creates energy and it can go pretty much non-stop. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, you'll be able to see the Invicta watch collection. And you can pick the one that you like based on the color, style, and technology. Please scan the QR code, start shopping today, and join me using Invicta. I'm sure you'll like it. Thank you very much for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Just Answer. Real help from real experts 24/7. Experts such as lawyers, doctors, veterinarians, computer technicians, home improvement experts, mechanics, personal tax experts, computer technicians, and many other experts are available for you 24/7 on Just Answer. You'll get your answers anytime, during the day, during the night, 24/7, and you'll get your answers from reliable sources. You can scan the QR code on the screen and you can sign up for Just Answer. The answers you need at a price that is right. Scan the QR code and sign up for Just Answer today. Thank you for your support. Support for the show comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Beckert. Anywhere Apps are business software products designed for small and mid-sized organizations. They are ready to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I like to promote Asset Management Anywhere. Asset Management Anywhere is a CMMS software system. CMMS stands for Computerized Machine Maintenance Management System. It is designed to help you manage your assets. Your assets may be your machinery, equipment, your buildings, trucks. You can register all of them on Asset Management Anywhere. Asset Management Anywhere comes with unlimited asset management capabilities. There is no limit, there is no upcharge. Moreover, you can perform your break and fix, preventive and predictive machine maintenance management operations on Asset Management Anywhere. If you have a fleet of trucks, you can also manage maintenance operations on Asset Management Anywhere. If you are performing facility management for plumbing, electrical, and other facility management needs, you'll also enjoy the benefits of Asset Management Anywhere. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code to learn more about Asset Management Anywhere and Anywhere apps in general. There is more. I have a direct email for you. You can send me an email at kevin@kirkconsulting.com to ask your questions, also to schedule a demo, and I'll be happy to coordinate it with Team Anywhere Apps to show you the systems as well as address your questions. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and I hope you enjoy Anywhere Apps. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Office Virtual Offices. Office is offering you more than 600 different locations in the US. It is $99 a month. This includes prestigious business address, professional live call answering, personalized call transferring, business phone number, local phone number, professional mail services, voicemail converted to email. I have the QR code on the screen. You can sign up for Office today. Office is offering you hundreds of locations in the US that you can pick any of them that you like. And you can start having your virtual office today. Please scan the QR code and start using Office Virtual Offices today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Beckert. Anywhere Apps are business software systems, and they are designed to digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I like to focus on Contract Management Anywhere as part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. Contract Management Anywhere is an AI-powered vendor, customer, and legal contract management software system. It is modern, it runs on cloud, it's easy to use, and it's scalable. Because of the AI capabilities of the system, software comes with an AI chatbot that you can get your answers about any contracts that you have. Renewal dates, amounts, start dates, and other details can be learned from the system in a conversation. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code to learn more about Contract Management Anywhere, as well as Anywhere Apps in general. There is more. I have a direct email for you. You can send me a direct email about Anywhere Apps and Contract Management Anywhere, kevin@kirkconsulting.com. I'll be happy to help you and help you schedule a demo session with Team Anywhere Apps. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I hope you enjoy Anywhere Apps. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from iStack. iStack is offering you the latest visuals for your marketing projects, advertising projects, and other projects that need communicative latest visuals. Right now, iStack is offering you 20% discount if you start shopping today. I have the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you can start your shopping experience with iStock immediately. Whether you are looking for visuals designed by professionals or you are looking for visuals designed by AI, iStock is offering you all these options starting today. Please scan the QR code and start shopping visuals on iStock website. Remember, there is 20% discount when you start shopping today. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Wizen. At the American Business Podcast, we always talk about continuous improvement and professional development. That is why we partner with Wizen, trust the nation's largest network for tutoring. Wizen helps you find the tutor that you need in many different subjects: chemistry, computer, foreign languages, geometry, English, music, physics, reading, SAT, science, and many more. I have the QR code on the screen that you can sign up and start searching for tutors and enjoy the learning experience and continuous improvement as we always talk about in the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up for Wizen today. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps. Anywhere Apps are business software systems. They are designed to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I like to focus on quality management anywhere. Are you compliant with ISO 9001? Are you compliant with AS 9100? Or maybe you are in medical device industry and you are compliant with ISO 13485. No matter what compliance requirement that you have at your organization, Quality Management Anywhere is designed to help you digitally comply those requirements. It comes with ready-made quality document management module, corrective action module, continuous improvement module, customer complaint management module, audit management module, instant management module, and many other modules that you can utilize for your compliance needs. Because the system is cloud-based, you can access it from anywhere. It also has installation capabilities. If you are in aerospace industry, defense industry, and this software needs to be on your private cloud or on your private server on premises, there is also a deployment option for your organization. It is designed for quality management and compliance management by quality management and compliance management experts. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code to learn more about quality management anywhere, as well as Anywhere Apps in general. There is more. I also have a direct line, kevin@kerconsulting.com. You can send me a direct email for your questions and or schedule a demo for Anywhere Apps, Quality Management Anywhere, and I'll be happy to assist you in this process. Thank you very much for your support and looking forward to hearing from you. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Norton, advanced tech for advanced threats. Sign up today. Norton offers you different packages to completely save and secure your data and your devices. Each Norton package comes with antivirus, malware, ransomware, and hacking protection capabilities. In addition, there is VPN, private internet connection, dark web monitoring, and parental control capabilities in each package. There is a promotion going on right now. I have the QR code on the screen. You can get up to 60% discount if you sign up right now for one of the packages. There are packages of Deluxe, Standard, Plus, and Select. Depends on the number of devices that you like to connect, as well as the features that you like to utilize when you are using Norton. I have the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you'll see the different packages and options available for you. Scan the QR code, go to the page that you like to sign up, pick the package that you like to use, and sign up today. True story. I am also using Norton on daily basis, and I know all of my devices are secure every single day thanks to Norton. Scan the QR code on the screen and start using Norton today and save your devices and your data in a safe and secure manner with the help of Norton. Thank you very much and enjoy the experience. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Otter AI. Otter is the AI note taker that builds your knowledge and powers your workflow with transcription, automated summaries, AI chat, and more. Get your AI-powered assistant for meeting notes, tasks, and more. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up today. Otter AI is the latest note taker that you can utilize, and you can set your meetings, you can take your notes, and you can also set up your follow-up actions automatically with the help of the Otter AI. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the show comes from Yelp. You know, I've been talking to more than 100 business owners in the American Business Podcast. Do you know the biggest problem for small businesses nowadays? It is visibility. That is why you should sign up and list your business on Yelp for Business. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, the form will show up on your screen and you can sign up on the registration form. It comes with free trial with no obligation. Make it easy for your customers to find you. Do you know there are more than 70 million customers visiting Yelp website looking for services from businesses just like yours? Restaurants, home services, professional services, and many other businesses are being searched on Yelp on daily basis. That's a great opportunity. If you list your business on Yelp, you'll be findable, searchable, and you'll be visible. When you are visible, when your customers are able to find you, you're in business. You can get opportunities, you can get leads, you can build a healthy and profitable pipeline. Consider Yelp for Business. Scan the QR code, sign up, and start your free trial. It comes with free trial. Very comfortable, no obligation. List your business and start getting the results and enjoy the benefits of Yelp Business. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone is bringing you foreign languages. Learn from the experts, choose your plan to get started, sign up today. New Year is coming, and if your New Year resolution is learning a foreign language, Rosetta Stone is the choice for you. Rosetta Stone is offering you a long list of foreign languages: French, Italian, German, Chinese, Greek, Turkish, Polish, Portuguese, Vietnamese, and many more languages are available for you to get started today. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up for Rosetta Stone and enjoy the learning experience of foreign language. Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Kevin Devecioglu, founder and host of the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast is America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, we started podcasting as a service, PaaS, powered by the American Business Podcast. As part of this service, we help businesses set up their business podcast within the American Business Podcast network, and we help them broadcast with the help and support of Team ABP, the American Business Podcast. As part of this service, I'm happy to announce that we have a new business podcast called Anywhere Apps Podcast Channel. As you may remember, we have been promoting Anywhere Apps in the American Business Podcast, and Anywhere Apps are coming from Kerr Consulting, now Cherry Beckert. Fundamentally, Anywhere apps are designed for digitization and automation of business processes. In this scope, Anywhere apps are offering a long list of modern software systems, business software systems, such as CRM Anywhere, Nonprofit Management Anywhere, Asset Management Anywhere, Quality Assurance Anywhere, Advanced Planning and Scheduling Anywhere, and many more. In each Anywhere Apps podcast segment, we'll talk about technology for business, as well as practical use of AI and business software systems. And we are planning to share educational content to help small and mid-sized American companies to adopt change in terms of technology. I'm very excited for this podcast, and I just wanted to share this news with you. And I'm looking forward to having you in the coming The American Business Podcast episodes and Anywhere Apps podcast, which will be live very, very soon. Thank you very much for your support and for your interest, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. It is time to sign up for the online monthly networking event, networking and podcasting together. It is called Connection America Business Alliance, partnered and powered by the American Business Podcast. During this unique business networking event, you'll be able to meet with other business professionals. At the same time, you will be in the American Business Podcast in front of thousands of business-minded YouTube subscribers, viewers, and listeners of the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. Connection America online monthly networking events are interactive. You'll be able to meet with other seasoned business professionals, and at the same time, you'll be able to interact with viewers and audience. That's a unique event. It is because it's podcasting plus networking. If you are in business, you should be networking. And if you're not networking, you are losing business every single day. That is why we created online monthly networking event called Connection America Business Alliance, CABA in short. Scan this QR code and sign up today. When you scan the QR code, you'll see the list of coming monthly online networking events. Pick the one that works for you and sign up. We have limited seating, and today is the great day to sign up for online business networking event. Networking plus podcasting. That is a unique online business networking opportunity. You can introduce yourself, your products and services, and you'll be able to network with other business professionals live on the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up today. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit, Reddit for Business. Reddit has more than 400 million weekly visitors. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable. Reddit is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on. When you spend $500, you'll get $500 in ad credit from Reddit. True story. I am a Reddit user. Anytime I need feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit. I get the real answers, real feedback from real people, from Reddit communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising for your business. Get the visibility for your company your products and services. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Would you like to start your business podcast? We are here to help. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I am the founder and host of the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. When we started the American Business Podcast on February 28, 2025, we had only one mission in mind: to promote, support, and uplift American businesses, nonprofits, manufacturers, and the American business community. Within our first 6 months, we managed to pass 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and we received YouTube Silver Award. This is an important award. It shows our dedication to American business and to the American Business Podcast viewers, subscribers, and American Business Podcast community. Now you can have your own branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast network. You can promote your company, your products, your services, and you'll have instant visibility in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers, subscribers, and followers. You can promote your company, your products and services. You can educate and inspire businesses and individuals. More importantly, you can tell your story, your brand story. How did you get started? What makes you different? And how you are helping your customers and communities. As you know, in the American Business Podcast, I've been talking to more than 100 American businesses. Each business has a story that is inspiring and motivational. I know your business also has a great story which is motivational and inspiring. It is time for you to have your business podcast within the American Business Podcast network. We help you start your business podcast and we help you grow your business. This is a great opportunity for you to be visible in the marketplace in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers and subscribers. And this is a great opportunity for us to fulfill our mission to promote, support, and uplift American businesses. Please send us an email and let's get the conversation started. It is paas@americanpodcast.tv. Business podcasting as a service, powered by the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast is America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I'm the founder and host of the American Business Podcast, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you, working with you, and help you grow your business with your new business podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with me in the American Business Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest in the American Business Podcast, please send us an email, guestbooking@americanpodcast.tv. If you'd like to sponsor ABP, if you'd like to advertise in our podcast episodes, please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can advertise your company, your products, your services, and your brands in the American Business Podcast. Please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can also visit our website, americanpodcast.tv, to learn more about the American Business Podcast as well as our coming streaming schedule. Now you can have your branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast Network. We call it Business Podcasting as a Service, PaaS. If you're interested in starting your business podcast in the American Business Podcast Network, please send us an email, paas@americanpodcast.tv. As part of our international expansion, we started international podcast editions. When you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our YouTube page. And please go to the podcast section in our YouTube page and you'll see our international podcast editions. They are ABP Espanol, ABP German, ABP French, ABP Hindi, ABP Portuguese, and ABP Turk, that you can listen to American Business Podcasts in 6 different foreign languages. Okay, well, we are in the process of increasing our presence in social media. If you're on LinkedIn, please scan this QR code and subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn. If you're on TikTok, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our TikTok page. Please subscribe. Please follow us. If you are on Instagram, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Instagram page and please subscribe. If you are on Facebook, we'll also appreciate your help and support. Please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Facebook page and please follow us. And finally, we are on IMDb, next to other reputable media productions. Please scan this QR code, go to our IMDb page, and please rate us on IMDb. We'll truly appreciate your help and support. I'd like to thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. I'm looking forward to seeing you in coming the American Business Podcast episodes. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast, America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. Thank you very much for your help and looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.